Okay. Oh, remember? Oh, he's not a Marxist. No, that's crazy talk. That's just a good rule of thumb, sort of a social justice safety tip. It's not like he learned that ideology very early on from his mentor, Frank Marshall Davis, an avowed communist. You know, the kind of people he's now appointing as czars. He didn't learn all of this from his favorite professors in college. Marxist, not called that by me, but the people he spoke about in his book, Dreams of My Father.
I chose my friends carefully. The more politically active black students, the foreign students, the Chicanos, the Marxist professors and structural feminists and punk rock performance poets.
Oh, gee, you can't hold him to that. He was 4 at the time. You can't hold it, really. How about we hold him to something he said in an Illinois public radio station in 2001 when he was a state legislator in Illinois.
The Supreme Court never ventured into the issues of redistribution of wealth and sort of more basic issues of political and economic justice in the society. And to that extent, as radical as I think people tried to characterize the Warren Court, it wasn't that radical. It didn't break free from the essential constraints that were placed by the Founding Fathers in the Constitution, at least as it's been interpreted, and Warren Court interpreted it in the same way that generally the Constitution is a charter of negative liberties, says what the states can't do to you, says what the federal government can't do to you, but it doesn't say what the federal government or the state government must do on your behalf.
Oh my gosh. I mean, geez, look at that. Look at that. Listen to this part. She said that here that it hadn't shifted. The tragedy of the civil rights movement was because the civil rights movement became too court-focused. Listen to this. Negative liberties. You know what this is? We talked about it last week. We talked about negative liberties and a new Bill of Rights. FDR was the one who brought it up. Oh, wait a minute. Another one of his czars was talking about it as well. Gee, filling up your car and having somebody else pay for your house. Who's the stupid one now? Us or the woman at the beginning of the monologue? What a powerful endorsement of the most perfect political document in the history of the world from our new president. Unfortunately, it also didn't bring about that change that he was talking about. And when I say that change, I mean, you know, the kind of change that Obama and Karl Marx wanted so badly. And we'll also need to do lots of redistributing to the poor if Obama gets his way on energy policy.
Under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket. Even, regardless of what I say about whether coal is good or bad, because I'm capping greenhouse gases, coal power plants, natural gas, you name it, whatever the plants were, whatever the industry was, they would have to retrofit their operations. That will cost money. They will pass that money on to consumers.
How can we be in denial still? Thankfully, those high prices will help break us of our evil capitalist habits. Quote, we can't drive our SUVs, and eat as much as we want and keep our homes on, 72 degrees all the time, whether we're living in the desert or we're living in the tundra, and then just expect every other country's going to say, okay. Let me tell you something. My studio here is set at 65 degrees right now. If I could get it to 40, I would. And you know what? I don't really care if it hurts the feelings of some Frenchy Frenchman. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. I'm going to go on living my life the way I choose to live it. And if that includes 18 hours of TV and Doritos, that's my choice, baby. Or is it?
Barack Obama will require you to work. Barack will never allow you to go back to your lives as usual. Uninvolved, uninformed.
She goes on to say, he will force you to be engaged. Well, we were promised this over and over again. Over and over, the fundamental transformation of America was coming, named change.
5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
This man, we have been screaming for a man who would tell us the truth. And then when somebody tells us exactly what he believes in plain English, we refuse to listen to him. Nobody took this man at his word. The question is, when will you begin? How much more evidence do you need before you wake up and go, wait a minute, hang on, what's he doing?